They warned us that something was coming.
If there is ever an end in this forever war, it will be because of you and your strong right hand. I'm on your side!
Sorry, my bad.
David, so a bunch of people are going to see this movie and they're going to say, hey, I want to go from dad bod to demon bod. What can they expect?
You hire Joel Harlow as your makeup artist. That's what you do. Don't go to the gym, just hire Joel Harlow and he'll give you a suit that is a prosthetic and that is that body. But in terms of like the feelings of power and strength, of course I did a lot of training around that. But really, if you want to have great, defined, good-looking muscles, get yourself a muscle suit. And make sure it's not red, because that'll be a dead giveaway. But,
Red muscle suit's kind of obvious.
you got to get it flesh-colored, I think.
But I mean, because the hardest thing to me about working out is not the actual training, it's the diet. So
Yeah.
if you are on set and you're playing Hellboy, you have to maintain a certain diet. So kind of like the death row meal, what was your first meal after you wrapped production and you could be you again?
Well, I mean, the funny thing about the Hellboy particular thing is it wasn't like the organic chicken thing. And in fact, because it's a suit, because it's a prosthetic, when I was fitted for it, I had a certain body shape. And I had to maintain that body shape. So the weirdest thing was the producers were calling me saying, you're losing too much weight when I was working out. You need to eat more pancakes and more donuts. So there was not a lot of limitations on my diet. It was like the opposite of this, this superhero training diet. And that's the one I recommend if you're gonna play a superhero. Get the one where the producers are being like, keep on with the pancakes. Come on, pour on the sour cream onto that baked potato, man. Come on.
Really, now that I'm here with the man himself.
Yes.
Is Hellboy a daddy?
Oh my God. Is he? That's a terrific question. I really don't know. I think you'd have to ask the population at large. I cannot self-define or label said moniker of daddy. It is really up to the people to decide.
I think I won Ian McShane over. I had to give him the definition of what a daddy is, but I think that he came around to it okay.
Oh my God, that guy's amazing.
I'd like to cross franchises for just a second though, and I want to know what a road trip with Hellboy and Hopper would look like.
I mean, it would involve a lot of drinking, be very little sober drivers on that trip, and a lot of swearing. A lot of swearing. But, they're decent guys, so I feel like it would be a nice buddy comedy where there'd be a lot of helping, getting kittens out of trees and stuff like that as well. But yeah, a lot of drinking, a lot of swearing.
Does Hellboy enjoy the Upside Down, you think? Does he make a home there?
Yeah, he's never been there, but, he's never been there, but I think, I don't know, I think he really just likes, he likes hanging out in a bar most of all. I don't think the Upside Down would really be his world.
Nah, he's most at home at a bar,
Yeah,
pancakes,
he most at home at a bar,
donuts.
like in Mexico at a wrestling match, things like that. Yeah, on his couch eating pizza, stuff like that. Yeah, it's not so much Upside Down.
Listen up, ladies and gentlemen. Out there's a 5th century sorceress who wants to bring down the curtain on London and the world.
Great. Homework.
I'm so excited to talk to you about this movie because you, for some of the film, are dismembered, where you're just a head. Is that an easy day or a hard day on set?
Those scenes were difficult because, at my worst, I'm kind of rotting. I've got probably a bit of mold growing on me. I've got veins everywhere. I mean, that was like 5 hours of hair and makeup to achieve that look. And then, of course, you're having to deal with potential visual effects. So I would wear like a green glove so that they could like take out my hand and like another green glove that was like up to the shoulder. And in the scene where I am all dismembered on the couch, like they made a hole in the couch that I actually like sat in and then put the gloves on and then like kind of cocked my head a little bit, and it was a lot of fun though to be able to do stuff. For me, I love physical acting. I love doing action because it's so much physical acting, and even when she wakes up, there's like a moment where she kind of like cracks her head, and I didn't even think they needed to put all of those sound effects because it looked so real and it felt so real, and just like being able to walk and know that I'm giving the special effects department something to work with so they don't have to do it all in post,
And with the Blood Queen, some might call you the antagonist. I might say a hopeless romantic.
Thank you.
There's a kiss scene in here that's covered in blood. Are you ready today to start the campaign for the MTV Best Kiss of the Year award?
Listen, I don't know about that, but I definitely think that they had such a great vibe together, and they would have made such a perfect couple, But unfortunately, my character has very strong opinions. She's a leader. She loves her people. She wants to bring them out of the darkness. They're ostracized. They're marginalized. She wants this idyllic future where humans and monsters are living peacefully together. And I guess that was just too much of an extreme view. So, of course, all the men immediately stab her through the heart with a spear, chop her head off, and bury her body alive in a bunch of pieces, for 5,000 years. And I was like, wow, I really relate to this. I know that there's like quite a few women in power today that a lot of men would love to do that to. So I was like, wow, I really want to do her justice because she's another strong woman kind of being beaten down with a great vision,
Well, I felt like
And by the way, I don't know how you would wake up after 5,000 years of being buried in a box, but she wants revenge.
No, I'd want to keep sleeping.
You made me a damn weapon. I just wanted to help you become the best you.
Some dads get their kids Legos.
So, Ian, it's an honor to talk to you because you are the daddy of Hellboy. You see this demon show up and you raise it. How do you become the father of something like that?
Well, I think he's not sure what to do. Kill it, eat it, or raise it. And there's just something adorable about that sort of situation, especially from this. But I said the first two joking, but at the same time, he is the product of some unholy alliance, or some electric shock. But I think Bruttenholm takes him because partly selfishly, because he wants to be a father, but he doesn't want a wife. Here's a homegrown boy. And also he wants to grow him up. He knows without him, this will be a monster. He has to kill it, but he wants to treat it and maybe become the biggest monster-killing ass machine that he's ever had working for him. So there's selfish reasons, there's, I think, parental reasons, there's all sorts of reasons. We talked about it, but then I had breakfast with Harbour, and, we developed him instantly before we did this sort of chippy kind of fun relationship. So I think it added to that kind of father who's been a father more than a friend, but why not? There's times to be a friend, more times to be a father. But David brought this character with him, and that's why I wasn't surprised when he suddenly turned up in, horns and 6'5" in a red suit with a tail. But it was exactly the same as seeing him. That was just what he happened to be wearing. It's like, he is Hellboy,
If Hellboy wanted to check into the hotel from John Wick, the Continental, would he be allowed in your estimation?
No.
Why not?
You're talking about a whole new universe here. Well, not a bad idea. They're both owned by Lionsgate. Wow. Maybe you solved John Wick 4 for them straight away. You never know. That's amazing. It's mine. Copyright if anything's done about it. Why not? They cross-pollinate all the time. I think it would be just fun. I think John Wick's 2 a little more serious than this one in a sense. It does have its comedic moments, but it's a different kind of movie. This kind of movie, I think, is like people go, they're 2 hours, they'll love the atmosphere they're in. It's a real popcorn movie in the best sense of the word, that it's funny, but it's sort of diverting. You've got a terrific lead performance from Harbour, who's full on as Hellboy, embraces it completely. I think it's satisfying to people of the book. I think people who come to it afresh or from the other movies will be, yeah, maybe if they won't, that's up to them. That's what makes horse racing. But
And the
it's a
John
fun
Wick
night.
crossover with Hellboy was all Ian McShane's idea. You get full credit, sir.
Okay, come on. Let's get your game face on. Yeah, come on, let's do this.
Daniel, I gotta ask you, what is it like to play a character who's also a jaguar?
Well, I take it from my real life experiences, and it's just I use a lot of sense memory. So
A lot of remembering being in the jungle as a jaguar. I mean,
That's
because
right.
like you hear actors and all the time they want to be method, they really want to get into the role. So do you watch nature videos? I mean, how do you practice being a jungle cat?
I actually love nature videos. I mean, Planet Earth and David Attenborough is honestly one of my favorite things. But to prepare for this role, I did actually start watching some documentaries about jaguars because they're pretty amazing creatures. I could go into detail and geek out about it, but I won't bore you. But I did watch a lot of stuff.
And then, because obviously there's a mix of practical effects and then CGI in this movie, are you ever actually getting into position as a jaguar? Are you wearing like green screen stuff? Are you walking on all fours, the actor, or is that all done on a computer?
The transformation was a combination of me and CGI, and so even when it was fully CGI, I was doing those movements, and they based the CGI off of what I was doing. So the short answer is yes. The transformation was about kind of finding the movements of that jaguar and thinking about what a real transition, quote unquote, would be like.
Is there one monster that you're going against or that people are going to see in the movie that you're particularly excited to get out there into the world?
You know, the fight in the forest was one that we shot over several nights, and it got cut down a little bit, but I really enjoyed that fight with all the witches coming out of the ground and stuff, and I think the last fight with the Gruagach it was a lot of fun because, you know, we got to shoot in a set of St. James's Cathedral, which is pretty amazing.
And it's fun going full jaguar, I imagine, as an actor. That's a good day.
Well, you never go full jaguar. No, it was a lot of fun, and you know what's nice about the full jaguar is that when he's fighting, you know, that's all CG, so I can relax.
You just get to stand on the sidelines and watch the artist render that and say, yeah, that's what I would do if I was in that
Yeah,
situation.
exactly. Yeah.
So I've been asking your castmates this, and so I'd love to get your take on it. There's the pop culture term daddy, and I wanted your wisdom as far as, do you consider Hellboy to be a daddy?
I think so. I mean, I think according to the Urban Dictionary, Hellboy would be a daddy, for sure.
What's the most daddy quality about Hellboy to you?
He's hot.
He's actually literally hot. He's
That's
from
what
hell.
I meant. Yeah, that was pun intended.